Have you noticed how many times the things we don't understand are the ones that scare us the most? This is exactly what happens with Exu and Pomba Gira. Many people, both inside and outside Afro-Brazilian religions, look at these powerful entities with suspicion, and this is where misunderstandings begin. Just imagine. Guiding, protecting, and leading. When a devotee connects with these entities, they are not just seeking protection or prosperity. They are, in fact, reconnecting with their own history, their roots, with the strength of those who have passed on, but whose energies still echo in the spiritual and material world. Unlike other spiritual phalanxes, such as caboclos and pretos velos, which have their own missions and energies, Exu and Pomba Gira have a much more intimate and close connection with us. They are not distant spirits, but those who are directly connected to our lineage, to our blood, to our history. It's as if they were members of our own family, ancestors who act directly in our lives, and that's why we feel their presence so strongly. In this way, these ancestral spirits continue their mission, not only as protectors but as true spiritual guides, always present and attentive to those who invoke their protection. They remind us that even after death, the connection between the material world and the spiritual world continues, and through their ancestral wisdom, we can always count on their help in the most challenging moments of our lives. The connection with Exu and Pomba Gira goes far beyond asking for material gains. They are the messengers who teach us to value ancestral legacy, to seek wisdom in traditions, and to find within ourselves the strength to overcome life's obstacles. They show us that by reconnecting with our spiritual origins, we can access a much greater power than any fleeting reward. How many times have you heard someone associate Exu or Pomba Gira with evil spirits, demons, as if they were responsible for all the chaos and disorder? But the reality, my friend, is quite different. The truth is, the more we learn about them, the more we realize that Exu and Pomba Gira are misunderstood. And that's exactly why it's so important to know their stories, their roles, and the essential part they play in the lives of those who honor them. What do you think of these hidden truths? Leave your thoughts in the comments. These entities, far from being feared, should be respected and understood. Exu and Pomba Gira are forces of transformation. They balance chaos and order, good and evil, the material and the spiritual. And that's exactly why they are so powerful. Because they work with both sides of existence, bringing harmony where there is disorder, protection where there is vulnerability. Talk about Maria Padilla or Tranca Rua, we are not just invoking famous names. We are speaking of spirits who, over their various incarnations, acquired a deep knowledge of the arts of healing and protection. And now, as part of these spiritual phalanxes, they offer this knowledge to those who honor them, keeping the connection with ancient traditions and wisdom alive, to help us correct the course of our lives and evolve spiritually. By working with these entities, their devotees are not seeking dishonest advantages or ways to harm others. On the contrary, they are connecting with forces that, therefore, understanding the true role of these entities is realizing that their goal is not to give us everything we desire immediately, but to guide us on a journey of growth, where ancestral wisdom and inner power are the greatest gifts we can receive. These stories should be known by everyone so they can decide for themselves. Exu and Pomba Gira are much more than the caricatures created about them. They represent primordial forces, energies that move the world, that operate at crossroads in life. And what's most interesting is that, although they are often portrayed negatively, in truth they are guardians. They are the ones who open paths, who bring truth to light, and who make things happen, both in the material and spiritual realms. Think of them as the guardians of life's crossroads, those who know all the paths, who understand the complexities of destiny and are ready to guide us, even when we're lost. They tirelessly work to bring balance, ensuring that both the spiritual and material worlds remain in harmony. Many of the phalanxes of Exu and Pomba Gira, such as the powerful Maria Padilla and Tranca Rua, are formed by spirits who, in life, played fundamental roles in their communities. These entities were not just mystical or distant figures. They were real people with extraordinary abilities that deeply influenced those around them. Healers, herbalists, midwives, they were masters in the art of healing. What they deserve, both in the material and spiritual realms. These entities are always attentive to what happens in the lives of their devotees. If something is out of balance, if there is injustice or negativity surrounding them, Exu and Pomba Gira will be the first to give a warning. They act as spiritual sentinels, ready to intervene and ensure that their devotees do not stray from the right path. And when something is wrong, they do not hesitate to alert and correct. Of the ancestors who have always protected their lineage, Exu and Pomba Gira act as true spiritual guardians, functioning as mirrors that reflect negative energies back to those who send them. This is not an act of revenge, but one of justice, as these entities ensure that people reap exactly what they sow. The power of Exu and Pomba Gira lies in their ability to balance forces. If someone tries to harm a devotee, whether through envy, curses, or negative thoughts, but why then is there so much confusion? Well, it's simple. People are afraid of what they don't understand. And when we talk about Exu and Pomba Gira, we're talking about energies that deal with aspects of life that we often don't want to face directly, like our deepest desires, impulses, and even our mistakes. Instead of seeing these forces as guides and helpers, it's easier for many to label them as demonic or evil. You connect with these forces, the devotee isn't invoking evil spirits, but rather accessing a spiritual heritage of protection and balance. They remind us that even in the most difficult situations, there is always a path, a solution. And that's what Exu and Pomba Gira represent. The possibility of change, action, and transformation, always guiding us with their ancestral wisdom. They assume this new role. They also receive new names, full of symbolism and power. Names like Maria Padilla, Exu Trancarua, among others, are not just titles. They carry the strength of ancestry, the wisdom accumulated over many lives, and the responsibility to act as intermediaries between the world of the living and the spiritual world. These names are the personification of their spiritual missions, chosen to represent the essence of the work they perform. It is common for many people to believe that the worship of Exu and Pomba Gira can only take place in toreros or specific sacred spaces, but the truth is that this worship can indeed be performed at home. These entities are not limited by walls or temples, for their power transcends physical space. When a devotee invokes Exu and Pomba Gira with faith and respect, the environment around them is immediately purified and spiritual protection becomes present. But let me tell you something. Exu and Pomba Gira are not evil entities. On the contrary, they are protectors, the ones who help us face our challenges, who allow us to walk the right paths. They are the ones who connect us with who we truly are. It's a great mistake to associate Exu and Pomba Gira with demons, and unfortunately, this wrong view persists to this day. But the truth is very different. Exu and Pomba Gira never were, nor will they ever be, evil spirits. On the contrary, they are part of a very old and powerful spiritual lineage whose main mission is to protect, balance, and guide their descendants. Using not only their hands, but also the secrets of herbs, plants, and prayers. Imagine a time when the knowledge of nature was passed down from generation to generation, like a treasure kept under lock and key. These people knew the healing powers of plants, how to soothe pain, how to cure a fever, or even how to bring peace to a troubled spirit. With their powerful prayers, they were able to restore balance in both body and soul, promote justice and truth, teaching us how to live in a more balanced and just way. Exu and Pomba Gira show us that true power lies in acting correctly, in respecting spiritual laws, and in maintaining balance in all areas of our lives. Now that you know what this channel is really about, I count on your subscription to feel more motivated to research more about this subject. These entities are known precisely for their ability to cleanse negative energies, dispel bad influences, and ensure that their protégés are always safe. It's important to understand that the relationship with Exu and Pomba Gira is much more intimate than many people imagine. It is personal and deeply ancestral. When a devotee connects with these entities, they are, in fact, reconnecting with the forces. These entities, Exu and Pomba Gira, carry within them a connection that goes beyond our immediate understanding. They are directly linked to ancestry, and this is not just symbolic. It is something deep, spiritual, almost tangible. Imagine an invisible thread that connects generations upon generations of people, stories, lives. That's how these entities connect to us. While caboclos and pretos velhos bring the wisdom of the forest and the ancestral African past, Exu and Pomba Gira relate to the crossroads of our personal paths, dealing with our daily challenges, our deepest desires, and even the most difficult situations in life. They are not just spiritual protectors, they are personal guardians who know our secrets, our fears, and our weaknesses, and help us transform all of that into strength. Many times, Exu and Pomba Gira are misunderstood, seen as entities acting out of self-interest or promoting evil. But this view could not be further from the truth. Exu and Pomba Gira are, in fact, spirits of justice, those who balance energies and protect their devotees from negative influences. They do not work out of bargain, nor do they act for mere trade or interest. On the contrary, their mission is greater, to bring harmony, restore balance, and ensure that everyone receives. Exu and Pomba Gira return this burden to the sender, restoring order and justice. They protect their devotees, not only physically but also spiritually, ensuring that negative energies find no room to thrive in the lives of those who revere them. In this way, the worship of these entities does not need to be grand or complicated. The most important thing is faith and guardians. They are spirits that carry within them the essence of those who came before, the ancestors who paved the way for their descendants. Have you ever stopped to think about the power of ancestry? When we talk about Exu and Pomba Gira, we are speaking of beings who are not just protectors. They are a living part of our history, ancestral spirit. This closeness with Exu and Pomba Gira makes them the most accessible spirits, those who understand the dilemmas of the modern world and know how to operate in our reality. It's a relationship of trust, where they are by our side to open paths, break barriers, and balance our energies, always guiding us toward the best destination. When we connect with them, we are connecting with the deepest part of our own ancestry, with the strength that runs through our veins, even if that means confronting us with difficult truths or making us face our own mistakes. Unlike what many think, Exu and Pomba Gira are not entities linked to evil, but to transformation. They help us see beyond appearances, understand the causes of our problems, and find solutions aligned with justice and universal balance. They bring to light what is hidden, not to cause harm. Intention behind the invocation. Whether at home or in a torero, Exu and Pomba Gira respond to the call with the same intensity, always ready to protect, cleanse, and restore balance, ensuring that justice prevails. I thank you for staying here with me until the end and for getting to know this magnificent story. See you in the next video. The richer and more engaging approach helps build a deeper understanding of the relationship between these entities and ancestry, sparking interest and reverence for these spiritual connections that transcend time and space. Now that we're lifting a bit of the religious veil, we know that what we've been told has more lies than truth. Do I deserve your like? Now, in the spiritual plane, these souls continue their mission, but in an even vaster dimension. They have become Exus and Pomba Giras, entities that not only guard and protect, but also continue to act as true masters of healing and spiritual knowledge. Every herb they use, every word they whisper in their prayers, is a reminder of the ancestral wisdom they carry. The idea that Exu and Pomba Gira are only there to satisfy material desires, like bringing fast money or facilitating romance, is a big misconception. Often this simplified view distorts the true mission of these entities. Exu and Pomba Gira are not mere executors of human wills. They are deep spiritual guides whose main task is far more elevated and transformative, to awaken the inner strength of their devotees, but now as spiritual guardians of their families and communities. In this new role, they become powerful protectors, those who guide, care for, and protect their descendants, and all those who invoke them with respect and devotion. When someone connects with Exu or Pomba Gira, they are not just seeking an immediate solution for material issues, but a reconnection with something much deeper. They work to help each individual reconnect with their own roots, their ancestry, and the wisdom that already exists within. Instead of merely granting superficial desires, Exu and Pomba Gira guide us to understand the true power that resides within us, is to open and close paths, protecting his devotees from negative influences and guiding them through the crossroads of life. These symbolic names not only honor who they were in life, but also reflect the greatness of their actions in the spiritual realm. Imagine for a moment what it means to awaken this inner strength. It's not about instant magic or easy solutions, but a process of self-discovery and transformation. They help us look inward, confront our fears and insecurities, and find the balance necessary to achieve what is truly important. Whether in the material, spiritual, or emotional realms,